Hello, everyone. This is Thor. Today, we're going to be talking about the transit of Venus in the sign of Pisces. This starts February 15th and is going to continue till March 12th. It's about a 1 month transit, but it's an incredibly powerful transit because Venus is going to be in its exaltation sign of Pisces. So that makes Venus incredibly strong at manifesting different types of things in our lives. Now, Venus is generally the karaka of pleasure and happiness. So it's generally a good planet. For some signs, it rules a negative houses. So it's not necessarily as pleasant as it could be. But I do feel like this transit's going to be generally pleasant for most people. So we're going to take a look at that and how it's going to affect you. You want to make sure that you check your ascendant sign and your moon sign to get an idea of what Venus is going to be doing for you during this time. So we're going to be taking a look at all 12 signs today. For those of you that are new to my channel, make sure you like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get all of my videos and all of the readings that I do. I do monthly predictions. I do special event type of situations like when there's special transits. I also do readings on royal families, celebrities. So my channel has a lot of different astrological applications. I practice Vedic sidereal astrology, which is the astrology of ancient India. So your sign may be different than your Western tropical one. You want to make sure you're going to the appropriate calculator. Also, if you're interested in a personal private reading, check for details down below, and you can purchase those through my website. Also, I'm going to give you a disclaimer. The reading is for entertainment purposes only. It's not meant to replace professional, legal, medical, or financial advice. So always, use your logic, of course, with these predictions, and always consult with the right people. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what this transit's about in a general way. Like I said earlier, the transit's February 15th to March 12th, a little less than a month. Venus is exalted, so it's extremely powerful during this time, and it's the planet of attraction. So it's different than its counterpart, Mars. Mars is the planet of pursuit. Venus is the planet of attraction. So when Venus is very powerful, what it's doing is it's attracting things to you. That's something to be aware of. Now, Venus is the natural karaka of love, romance, contracts, financial wealth, partnerships, equity, art, fashion, music, all that type of good stuff. And it's generally considered the planet of, if you were to think of your average, really earthly material person, Venus is really their planet. Everybody most people are pursuing pleasure. That's what Venus is all about. Venus is a natural benefic. However, it's a functional malefic for some signs. So you really want to be aware of what houses Venus rules in your sign or for your sign. All right, so let's move forward. Let's go to the sign of Aries and let's start this reading here. So if you are an Aries ascendant or Aries moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus is a neutral planet. It rules the second and the seventh house for you, and it's going to be transiting your 12th house of Pisces. So this is an incredible spiritual time for you, Aries. You're going to be receiving a lot of spiritual guidance and have a lot of times where you're really maybe inside the house a lot. Maybe you're being a little bit more private during this time. So that's really highlighted during this time. It's a good time to meditate and access guidance. You also may get some sort of really great ideas during this time. So pay attention to what kind of dreams you're having, because these could be important dreams that will point you in some sort of direction of success. Your finances may be a little bit more difficult during this time. There's kind of a trade-off because Venus rules the second house of saved assets and it's in the 12th house of losses. There could be some financial losses during this time, but there's going to be some spiritual insight given. Okay, so this is going to be losses on spiritual account. It's a very short period though, so I don't expect some big losses for you. If you're single, you may enter into a secretive romantic relationship. The 12th house is about those type of relationships we get into that the public doesn't know about. So that's what the 12th house is about. It's really about things that are behind closed doors. You also are going to be taking pleasure in, just like I said, having some time alone. Artistic pursuits like painting, writing, those are all highly favored during this time as well. And you may find that you simply just want to go on spiritual retreat during this time, and this is a really good time to do so. Anything artistic is going to be highly favored during this time. So good for you, Aries. Good luck. If you are Taurus ascendant or Taurus moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus is the ruler of your first house and your sixth house, so it's a mixed planet for you. The transit's going to be through your 11th house of Pisces, so you could actually see some increased money during this time, either in the form of an increased salary or a pay raise or some other type of financial gain. That's all highly favored during this time, Taurus. It's also a very sociable time. You might find yourself going to a lot of parties, different types of mixers, networking with people. If you get invitations to these events, I would say do it, because it's a great time to generate business contacts if you own your own business. It's also going to be a time where you meet new friends and just expand your networks in general. Now, there is this there is a negative element to this because Venus is the sixth lord. There could be some jealousy either from coworkers or friends during this time, and it's going to be because you're glowing so much. So you're attracting all these new friendships and you're attracting all these good things. Maybe more money's coming your way, so you might be actually attracting more jealousy from people as well. So it's something important to be aware of. You also may be recognized for some sort of award or some sort of accomplishment during this time. So good for you, Taurus. Good luck during this time. If you are Gemini ascendant or Gemini moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus rules your fifth and 12th houses, so it is a mixed planet for you. It's going to be going through your 10th house of Pisces. And for many of you that study astrology, the 10th house is all about career and what we do for a living. It's a good time for career growth. So you're generally going to be favored by your bosses and you're going to be seen in a very good light during this time, because what Venus does is Venus will give you a natural attractive glow about yourself. So you're going to appear more successful during this time. And so if there's a promotion that's pending, a lot of times it will go towards you because you're going to stand out quite a bit. You're very favored by management, like I said. And this also might be a time where you are thinking about purchasing a new home or at least decorating the house you have because of the aspect to the fourth house. So, for example, with decorating your house, there's a focus on making your house more aesthetically pleasing. So, for example, you might want to paint your house, you might want to do some landscaping and make it look nice. Also, this is going to be a good time to present any type of new ideas or projects at work. So, this is an incredibly creative time because Venus rules your 12th house, which is the 12th house of spiritual guidance and ideas and so forth. So, this is going to be a really good time for your career. And I think of it like a glow up. So, take advantage of this, Gemini. If you are Cancer ascendant or Cancer moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus rules the fourth and 11th houses. It's considered a neutral planet for you, Cancer. There's a focus on the ninth house since it's going to be transiting the ninth house of Pisces. And the ninth house is all about Dharma, gurus, teacher, higher teachings. And so you may take some sort of class or some sort of educational program. In the very least, you might find yourself reading some sort of books, especially books that are geared towards spirituality, like holy books, like the Bible or Bhagavad Gita or any type of holy text. You may find yourself doing that. Participating in puja ceremonies and religious festivals are also very highlighted, since ninth house really represents religious ceremonies of any kind. And you may actually gain a lot of good karmic merit by doing those kind of things. This is also a good time for financial blessings that may just come to you from for previous good karma. So you may have some sudden money because Venus is the 11th lord. It's in your ninth house. So there might be some sort of karmic fortune coming your way. So this is a really good time for that. Studying the Dharma or spiritual practices are generally going to be very enjoyable for you. There's a feeling of support from the universe during this time. There's a feeling that you are favored. There's a feeling that things are working out for you. So there's this sense of being supported. You're not feeling so alone during this time. So it's really good on a spiritual level. And you also may have some sort of opportunity to buy property during this time because Venus rules the fourth house and it's in the ninth house, which represents good luck and good fortune. So good for you, Cancer. If you are a Leo ascendant or Leo moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus is a little bit tricky of a planet. It rules the third house and the 10th house. The 10th house, it does represent career, but third house is a mild malefic house. It's going to be transiting your eighth house of Pisces. So this is a time of, I'm calling it mystical and magical transformation, Leo. There's a lot of mystical experiences you could have during this time. You also may receive some sort of unexpected money. For example, an inheritance, a tax rebate, insurance payout, or other monies during this time. The eighth house represents other people's money. So it's money that kind of comes out of the blue that maybe we didn't technically earn. So be on the lookout for that. That would be actually a really good thing, right? There also could be a sudden change in your job. So, for example, you might suddenly leave your job and it might be because you receive an offer for a better company or something like that. The eighth house has to do with death and rebirth. So a lot of times, if you lose something, there's going to be something better that replaces it. So keep that in mind this month that, there might be some sort of unseen blessing coming out of the situation. Also, you may receive some sort of secret information during this time, which is kind of exciting. You may be exposed to a lot of secrets that might give you some sort of edge because these secrets, secrets equal power. The more confidential information a person has, it really does give you an edge. Also, this is going to be a good time to study things like astrology, metaphysics, healing. If you want to take a class on Reiki, it's also a good time to do it because eighth house represents energy healing. So this is all around a good time, but it's also kind of a strange time for you, Leo. So take care of yourself. If you are a Virgo ascendant or Virgo moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus is actually a really good planet for you. It rules the second house, the ninth house, and it's going to be transiting your seventh house of Pisces. There could be a new romance during this time if you're single. So if you're single and you want to go out dating, this is a great time to do it because you are going to be looking very attractive to people because it's aspecting your first house. So there's going to be this glow about you, Virgo. Also, if you're in a relationship already, it's going to be something like a rekindled romance. So you might find that the romance is rekindled during this time. If you're in a long-term partnership as well, the partner may receive some sort of boost in income. So that's going to be, beneficial for both of you. A new business venture may also present itself to you since seventh house represents business partnerships as well. So keep your eye on that. And usually when there's some sort of venture presented, it's a very good opportunity since Venus is very positive for you. Like I said, you're going to have a very attractive glow about you. So you may notice people just making comments about you, which will feel pretty good for the ego. People will want to talk to you. Also, generally, people are going to seem very pleasant to be around for the next month because the seventh house represents our experience of other people. So you might notice that people seem a little bit more pleasant during this time, which is always a good thing. Good for you, Virgo. If you are Libra ascendant or Libra moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus rules your first and eighth house, so it's a mixed planet for you. And Venus is going to be transiting the sixth house of Pisces. So this is a little bit of a tricky time for you. There might be a new health routine implemented during this time because Venus is really focused on transformation since it rules the eighth house. So if you know that there's some sort of change you want to make with either like your fitness goals or your diet goals, this would be a good time to do it, to transform something about yourself. Venus will also help you negotiate or transform any conflicts or difficulties you may be having in your life, because Venus is the planet of diplomacy. So any long-standing conflicts are likely to be resolved during this time. You also may find that you're putting in more hours at work, but I do feel like you're going to be compensated with pay, since Venus is actually, the karaka of, money and high finance and things like that. Your coworkers also might be actually generally pleasant during this time. So even though, those coworkers can be difficult at times, they might be generally pleasant for the next month. And be careful during this time, Libra, for overindulgence. The sixth house can represent overindulging in things, and be careful about that. So take care of yourself, Libra. If you are Scorpio ascendant or Scorpio moon, this reading is going to be for you. Well, Venus rules the seventh and 12th houses for you, so it's a neutral planet. It's going to be transiting your fifth house of Pisces. And, fifth house represents creativity, divine intelligence. So it's a very creative time for you. If you have children, this is going to be a good time where you're creating good memories with them. So children might seem more pleasant or more agreeable during this time. If you're single, this is going to be a good time for courtship and romance, because the fifth house represents dating. So that's really positive. It's also going to be a good time to express your creativity. For example, if you like painting, writing, or generally expressing yourself in any type of way, like poetry, this is a great time to do it, because you're going to be having a lot of downloads about what to do. There's also a feeling of better luck during this time. So this is kind of exciting. You may have a special glow in your aura, so people are going to be noticing you. You're going to be more generally attractive to people. So this is a very positive type of situation. And remember, Venus shows what makes us happy or what we take pleasure in. So for example, Venus, the fifth house represents sports. So there might be some sort of urge to either play sports during this time or even just watch sports. So this is very much highlighted, a lot of joy coming through sports. So take care of yourself, Scorpio. If you are Sagittarius ascendant or Sagittarius moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus rules the 6th and 11th houses. So it's a little bit of a difficult planet. It does rule a Dushtana house, but it's transiting the 4th house of Pisces. Now, Venus is still Venus. So Venus is still a natural, happy planet. So there is a sense of being a little more happy at home during this time. So maybe you don't want to be out as much. There's this idea of being a homebody. And you may even start some sort of house improvement project like painting or landscaping, making your house look better, or like I wrote, more pleasing to the eye. So there's this idea of making your house look more aesthetically pleasing. The 4th house is all about real estate and home. So there is this focus on either purchasing a new home during this time, or there could even be a move during this time. There's a general feeling of contentedness, okay, because 4th house does represent our general feeling of contentment. And also, this is kind of funny, but you may feel the urge to learn a new recipe and improve your culinary skills, since 4th house represents things like being in the kitchen and cooking. So that's kind of interesting. You might be eating a lot of good food during this time as well, Sagittarius. So take care of yourself. If you are Capricorn ascendant or Capricorn moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus rules your 5th and your 10th houses, so it is a really good planet for you. It's going to be transiting the 3rd house of Pisces in your chart. This is a great time for entrepreneurship or starting your own business, because the 3rd house does represent small business and self-earned wealth. Also, if you work at a job that's, say, an office environment, you're generally going to be having a positive experience this month. So your office workers, your coworkers might seem more pleasant, or, maybe they want to hang out with you after work because you're going to be having this glow about you where people want to hang out with you. Also, there's going to be a lot of good, excellent work on things like presentations, speeches, or other media publications. So, for example, if you work an office job and you're supposed to give a presentation or a meeting, you're going to do a really good job at it because Venus is exalted and it's really making you just shine. You also may be very popular during this time. For example, your phone might be getting so many messages because, you know, the third house represents communication. So you're going to be getting a lot of messages from friends, family, coworkers. You're going to be very busy this month. Third house represents busyness. And this is also a good time to start a new hobby or learn a craft. Third house represents things like handcraft. So, painting, crocheting, knitting, even things like tools, working with wood. All those kind of things are indicated by the third house. So if you're interested in a hobby, it's a good time to start one. So good for you, Capricorn. If you are Aquarius ascendant or Aquarius moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus rules the fourth and ninth house, so it's a good planet for you. And it's going to be transiting your second house, which is all about money. So I do feel that there's more financial abundance indicated during this time, which is very positive for you. Your family's also generally going to be more pleasant during this time because remember, Venus kind of represents more pleasantness. You may receive some sort of sudden financial blessing like an inheritance, a tax rebate, insurance payout, or other form of money during this time because Venus is going to be aspecting the eighth house. So there's this idea of money that could come out of the blue during this time. You also may find yourself, and this is kind of fun, you might find yourself going out to restaurants and other venues quite a bit during this time. Second house has to do with food and drink. So it really is like what we eat, what we put in our mouth. That's all indicated by the second house. So a lot of times, Venus, it loves good food and it loves good cooking and culinary skills. So, you might be dining out quite a bit. You're going to have a general glow about your face since second house represents face. And also, your voice is going to be very pleasing to others. So, this is a very good time to really get out there. So, if you're looking for a job, for example, it's a really great time since you're just going to have this natural glow about you that people are really going to notice. It's a really good time. So, good for you, Aquarius. If you are Pisces ascendant or Pisces moon, this reading is going to be for you. Venus rules your third and eighth houses. So it's a little bit of a tricky planet. But okay, I stopped for a second, but Venus doesn't rule your house. Okay. It's a little bit of a tricky planet because it's a house of transformation for you. I really feel that a glow up is indicated for you, Pisces, because it's going through your first house. So this is going to make you glow so much. And you may notice that others find you more attractive during this time because you're really going to be glowing with Venus in your first house. If you're single, this is going to be such a great time to date. Your promotions and career advancement are very much helped during this time since first house is kind of like the 10th house. So there's this idea of advancement. It's a really good time. You also may come into some sort of secret knowledge that gives you an advantage during this time. So you may learn about some secrets, which will be kind of nice to know, right? And if you're married, your spouse may receive some sort of unexpected money during this time. Also, this is going to be a great time to change your style. So, for example, if you were thinking about getting a new haircut or trying a new makeup style or trying a new fashion style, this is really going to be a good time for that. This is going to be generally an all around good time for you, Pisces. This is probably one of the better transits because it's in your first house. So there's this idea of all these good things being attracted to you. So good for you, Pisces. This is really a great time for you. Now, that is it for all the 12 signs. I'm really hoping that all of you have a really good month with this Venus transit. Thank you for watching. Comment down below and let me know what you think about what Venus is going to do. Now, this is going to be more on a personal level, so there might be still some challenging times on a collective level, but our lives are very much mixed. You know, there could be some difficult experiences happening in the outer reality, but then you could be having good things happening in your personal life. So that's something to be aware of. So thank you for watching and take care of yourselves until the next video.